Hey, my mate. Okay, so you can see from there a lot of good stuff. Yeah, okay, I would say a lot of the hard work, a lot of the fundamental, disciplined hard work, you've done really, really well. Okay, it really looks to me like you've arrived here because you've been fiddling. Okay, you've been fiddling too much, and you kind of looks like maybe you are working on a symptom of something rather than the root cause of what it is, you know. So if you work on something a little bit too specific, and you don't really know where it's coming from or what's causing it, then you lose the sort of athleticism and dynamic moves of the golf swing. Basically, the golf swing then doesn't work altogether as one, athletic movement, or one complete movement, if you want to say it like that. And it looks like kind of that's what's been happening. So I don't know how long you've been fiddling, but you've kind of been fiddling on this and fiddling on that, fiddling on that. And then there's just, you've lost the sequencing completely, and you've created these couple of little idiosyncrasies that are making life a little bit difficult for you, right? So basically the end result is this, right? The end result is you are a little more upright and a little further from the golf ball than when you started, when you hit it, okay? And you're kind of tackling it a little bit shallow and from the inside, okay, without any decent sequencing. Okay, so the actual delivery position of the club is not bad, especially with the driver. But how you get it there is completely out of sync with what the body is doing. So, obviously it's going to be inconsistent, but it's just going to be, it's just going to be a little dead with nothing on it. So, if you've known you've hit good drives before, it's only a matter of time before you kind of start trying to swing a bit harder at it because you can't understand. You feel like you've got power in the body, but it's just not going anywhere. Or the strike is just not, it's not right. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. So we almost want to, which is going against what I normally work on, but I would normally work on impact being most important, and then kind of work backwards, because we've got to learn how to hit the golf ball properly. But we're going to do it the other way with you, because I need you to use your body differently, and I have an idea, but I can't be entirely sure where the golf club is going to go once we change those things. So we're going to have to just kind of change those things and see where the golf club is. And hopefully, instinctually, you want to attack the ball from the same place. Okay, but if not, we can tweak that at the end. Okay. Just on that note, I found your stats quite interesting because you said you're struggling with the driver. Your driver stats look the best. And what you didn't mention to me is your up and down, your scrambling percentages. I mean, that's got to be our number. We'll do swing, we'll do driver first, okay? I do see why the driver's a bit ropey. But we have to look at this short game, and probably looks like we have to look at the putting as well. Okay, so if you're missing a lot of greens, and you're a good golfer, your number of putts should be really around the 30 mark. If you're hitting 75% of greens and you're at 32 putts, I can accept that. Okay, because when you hit a 700 green, you're going to have a longer putt than when you're around the green. Okay, that's just how it is. So we need to look at that. We need to look at the chipping and putting as well. So if you can please send me some chipping and putting videos, and I'm going to give you a little putting drill to do as well. Okay, so but we will start on this, and we will start with the driver. Okay, so starts a little bit in the takeaway, as you can see in the videos. The driver setup looked better. I didn't say it looked great. I only figured out afterwards that we're a little far from the ball to compensate for that little move we got going on there. Maybe piped a few, shanked a few, and thought I better stand further. But the setup looks good. Okay, so it starts with the takeaway. Now takeaway gets a little flat under the plane, so not inside. Okay, the arms and the initial shoulder looks okay. All right, it's just a little bit of rotation and a bit of flexion in the right hand. It's just the club head. So a lot of stuff in the right place except the club head. Okay, the club head is not following what the rest of the body is doing. Okay, so a little bit of the takeaway. Now obviously that is going to promote you to go a little flat and across the line. Okay, when you go across the line, I don't know if you know or not, But when you reach a point of maximum resistance, if you keep going, okay, you get this little bit of internal rotation in the elbow, and that will cause a cup in the left wrist. These are little things that you mentioned to me. Okay, that will happen because no other way to get the club from here to here. There's no other way. Okay, so you either have to stay there and hit the golf ball, or you're going to go a little bit of rotation and a cup, okay, which you then have to manipulate on the way down. So it would say to me that that was not a waste of time, but a little bit of a waste of time. Anyway, okay, so we're a little bit over-rotated here with the club head, okay, so we want to obviously get that thing rotating a bit less, a little bit more on the correct line, okay, on plane, if you want to call it that, okay, and then from there, if you finish that golf swing with the correct shoulder plane, I don't see where it's going to go anywhere else. Okay, so as long as you get there and then don't allow yourself to get there, especially with the driver, okay, then that club can only go one place. Okay, so I'm not too stressed about that driver at all, right? So we're going to do a little bit of takeaway work. Okay, cut out some of that face and forearm rotation. Okay, and then just finish the swing with that good shoulder plane. Okay, so a little bit of draws doing that. Don't worry too much about the end of the swing. Just feel like it finishes there. Okay, and then our big work. All right, so you can see obviously, like I said, a little bit flat there, then a little bit of change of depth and change of shoulder plane. I don't know if that's trying to reroute or where it comes from. It doesn't matter where it comes from, let's just get rid of it. Okay, but our big work is from there. Okay, this is why stop drill works for you. Okay, so from there, what's going to happen is a little bit of weight shift. All right, and then we've got to start unwinding the lower body, the hips. While we do that, okay, this upper body unit must be static or even resisting. That includes the shoulders, the arms, and the clubbing, right? So their lower body has to go, okay, and this has to resist. Okay, so that's going to be our hard work. All right? So from the top, okay, a little bit of weight shift, that's fine. Right now, the lower body must go, this must resist. As you reach a point of maximum resistance, okay, that's when the right elbow gets pulled down, the club goes in, you keep turning. Understand this stuff happens very quickly, I just need you to know it. Okay, keep turning, start to slow down, the torso then takes over, club is still coming, and only from here do we then swing our arms and our hands to release the golf club. If you do that correctly, even with close to the right amount of timing, okay, the golf club will be there, but also be there with stored energy. Okay, so as long as you then don't do anything drastic, okay, you're going to hit good shots. Right, you won't have to manipulate the face, you won't have to manipulate your arm swing in that right shoulder, and you obviously won't result in that little flip of the right hand there. Okay, we're going to end up obviously more in this position. Okay, so impact, you're going to hopefully see that hip way more open. You look quite athletic, so I'm going to go at least sort of 60 degrees. Okay, so we'll take 45 degrees for now. So that means by the time you hit the golf ball, shoulders are square, hips for you right now 45 degrees open by the time you hit the golf ball. Okay, now that is on a small shot as well. So at first it's not going to feel like it, but even a little shot. Okay, this is a 6-iron, but if I had to hit a little, I don't know, 60-meter log wedge, okay, you'd still see that hip. You know, for me it's even a little bit more than that. It's more like the 70. Okay, if you pause this video, at impact, so I hit a 6-iron, maybe I hit it like 85 meters, something like that. Okay, you pause that video, you'll see how open that is at impact. Okay, and that's kind of what we have to learn to do for you. Okay, so I want you to adapt that into your stretching. Okay, so tell your physio and stuff as well. You're trying to improve your torso flexibility and activate that hip rotation a little bit, but it must be separate from the upper body. Okay, we've got to learn to separate. That's the critical move, right? And then as an end result, we want to then see an impact, more of that position, okay, and less of where you are now. So we don't want to swing the arms from here. Okay, at the top, leave the arms alone. Lower body starts to unwind, resist as much as you can, then keep going, and off you go. Okay, so that's going to be the hard work. That's what we're going to be grinding as much as we possibly can. Okay, right. So, stop drill will help, okay? But first thing we have to do is learn to trust that we can fire those hips. Can we fire them in place? Okay, they're not changing anything. All right, and can we start to trust that we can fire them and still hit the golf ball? All right, so first thing I'm going to do for this week, a little bit of takeaway drill, okay? We're not trying to necessarily, or not even necessarily, not at all. We're not trying to change the shoulders or the arm swings at the bottom. We're just trying to change the club head, okay? Club head is going there because of a bit of flexion, a bit of right arm, forearm rotation, okay? So what we try to do, you can use an alignment stick or something if you want, but I've got a golf ball there, about 2.5 feet behind the ball I'm hitting, and on the ball and target line. Okay, we want to go over the top of that ball, but when we go over the top of the ball, I want that face still square to the golf ball. So don't let the club face rotate at all. And this is critical with the driver, by the way. So driver, the same feel over the top of that golf ball, no rotation of that club face. Okay? So the first set, what I want to do is take it away, check it, okay, and check it in your posture. So don't stand up and check it, don't be lazy on it. Okay, take it away, check it, feel like the face is a bit shut, okay, and then from there, right, just finish the swing with the shoulder blade, so don't allow that shoulder to change, yeah, so we just got a little, first a little 1, 2, and off you hit that type of vibe, okay, then from there, obviously hit some, without the stop trying to get the same takeaway feel, okay, just hitting some, okay. And then the second one from there, second drill I want to do for right now for this week, okay, is all about rotation. Okay, so don't worry about the timing of it, don't worry about anything, just, we're going to try just before you get to the top. Okay, so don't even wait to get to the top, just before you get to the top, okay, basically I just want you to open those hips up to your target, okay. Let's not go as quickly as possible just yet, okay, but just get them open as soon as possible, let's say that. So I don't need you to thrust and hurt yourself and come out of your posture or anything like that. But just before you get to the top of the swing, all I want you to do is roll the hips open, okay, and just hit golf balls like that and send me some videos. Right, that's all I need you to do, okay? Yes, I understand all the stuff that we've talked about, okay, the assessment and what we're going to end up working on, but right now, a little bit of takeaway in 2 parts, okay, then some full shots with the takeaway, alright, and then your next round, start opening hips towards the target just before you finish your backswing, with all clubs. Okay, that's even an 80 meter if it's a gap wedge or whatever it is for you. Okay, just before you get to the top, okay, roll and open hips to the target and feel like you're getting slingshotted through impact. Okay, find a bit of balance, find a little bit of ball striking doing that, and send me the videos. That is all that I need. Okay, so lastly, that's for you to practice. Okay, lastly, all right, I just want you to do a quick putting compass drill for me. Okay, compass drill is north, south, east, west. Okay, then we're going to add in the northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. So 8 points of the compass. Okay, I want you to do 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters. Okay, so we've got 24 putts. Right, so no cheating, no mulligans and whatever. 1 putt from each of the 24 points. Okay, and I just want you to let me know how many you hold out of 24. Okay, so just do that drill for me as well and let me know that. Otherwise, these are your 2 swing drills you have to do. Okay, hopefully you understand why you have to do them. All right. Basically, what we're trying to do is your sequencing is non-existent. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we gotta rebuild the sequencing. Okay, and then basically we just simplify. We're just taking out certain moves that we don't need. Okay, there's just a couple of moves there that we don't even need them. Okay, so we're just eliminating stuff. All right. So just eliminate that stuff, simplify as much as possible. Okay, and then let's learn correct sequencing. That's all we're trying to do. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you later.